Hey everybody, Alex Kozora, SteelersDepot.com, back with a recap and analysis of the Pittsburgh Steelers' initial 53-man roster, which I will put on screen right now for you guys. Emphasis on initial, it's fluid, will change, maybe by the time you're listening to this, but my quick reaction, 5 o'clock, about an hour after the cuts and roster was announced. Before we start, if you guys could like this video, subscribe to the channel, and check out the site, SteelersDepot.com. Would really appreciate that. Let's go through things position group by position group. Quarterback, running back, no surprises. Wilson, Fields, Kyle Allen, top 3 quarterbacks. That is also the order they will be in. Wilson almost certainly will be this team's starter, even though it's not been officially announced by Mike Tomlin. Running back, Najee Harris, Jalen Warren, Cordero Patterson. Warren has the hamstring. Seems to be relatively minor. He's confident he'll play week 1, and based on some of the reports from the beat writers that are there, he's making some good progress. If they have to elevate somebody, they can. Pittsburgh reportedly is signing veteran running back, formerly the Eagles, Boston Scott, to the practice squad. So that's an option, as would be Jonathan Ward if he's signed to the practice squad, somebody that impressed this summer. Tight end, Arthur Smith system, going to be heavy on the tight ends, keeping 4 in Pat Freiermuth, Darnell Washington, Connor Hayward, Michael Pruitt. Pruitt and Rodney Williams were battling for that final spot, but Williams had a shoulder injury. Pruitt a better blocker, more known in the Arthur Smith system. Williams had the special teams value, but Pruitt is going to win out as an inline blocker, especially knowing that Connor Hayward is not a traditional inline wide tight end, and Pat Freiermuth will be playing on his feet quite a bit in 2024. Wide receiver keeping 5, George Pickens, Van Jefferson, Calvin Austin, Roman Wilson, and Scotty Miller. We'll see who's active week 1. Wilson avoided IR. That was good. There was some speculation he could land there. I didn't think that was super likely, but he may have missed too much time to be ready and up to speed and trusted for week 1. It's obviously a pretty weak group overall. Jefferson, your number 2. Austin, Miller, Wilson kind of competing behind that. Not that receiver, beyond the number 1 is used a ton in the Arthur Smith system, but, if Pickens gets hurt, you're really banking on him being healthy and playing to his potential this season. So it's a group where, you've had some good camp performances from Jefferson and Miller, and Austin can take the top off of defense, but there are certainly question marks to be had there. Des Fitzpatrick did not make it, thought he could as that gunner specialist. He did not have a great preseason as a gunner, got a bunch of reps. The production was not super strong. Had he been more productive, he might have been able to capture a spot. Offensive line keeping 9, 3 tackles in Dan Moore Jr., Broderick Jones, and Troy Fautanu. The rookie, Dylan Cook, is going to IR to return with a foot injury. He'll be out at least the first 4 games, can come back potentially as early as week number 5. Interior offensive line, Isaac Seumalo, James Daniels, and Zach Frazier. Your starting interior. Backup, Spencer Anderson, Mason McCormick, and Ryan McCollum. Making it McCollum, aided by the Nate Herbig injury, and they really didn't get, Pittsburgh, did not get a great look at Mason McCormick in the finale at center. Picked up 9 snaps, but for a rookie, 9 snaps, not a ton to hang your hat on. Spencer Anderson can play center, but really did not do much at center during training camp, and no snaps there in the preseason. So kudos to McCollum. He's been on the practice squad for a long time, and so that's good for him, even if it came through injury. Defensively, look at that D-line. 8 defensive linemen. They usually keep 6. Last year they kept 7, and they were heavy. This year they're at 8 for the initial 53. Now I have to imagine they're not going to have 8 defensive linemen when they take flight to Atlanta September 8th. 7 seems to be the right number, and this is kind of where the first surprise to me came in. I think offensively it was pretty chalk. A couple ones you could debate, but nothing really surprising. Logan Lee making it the 6th-round rookie. He's a guy that got miscast this summer playing nose tackle because of the injury to Braden Fehoko. Lee did not look great. He played tall, he played high, but nose tackle is not really a spot. He's 6'5", he's out-leveraged. Probably had to be a little more physical as well. He's a high-motor guy. Had a couple moments in training camp, but missed the finale against Detroit, so I'm not entirely sure what the justification was for Lee when you have 7 other defensive linemen and you have 2 nose tackles in Benton and Adams. Loudermilk making it, Leal making it, Lowry making it, so there was a debate, of the L's who could make it, and really all 4 of the L's, Lowry, Leal, Loudermilk, and Lee making it for now. We'll see the movement on that going forward. Outside linebacker with 3 names in TJ Watt, Alex Highsmith, and Nick Herbig. Only 3. Team usually almost always keeps 4, but I assume they're going to plan on DeMarvin Leal being that 4th outside linebacker, or, Kyron Johnson cut. Could he circle back or be elevated? That's always a possibility as well. But Leal was playing a dual role of sub-package, defensive tackle, and outside linebacker. He started at outside linebacker in this finale against Detroit and played well enough and had a really good summer. So I think that's the team's thought process on that. And of course, the top 3 is excellent. Jeremiah Moon going to short-term IR. He is designated to return. Him and Cook were used for those 2 spots where they could return later this season. Also, week 5 at the earliest for Moon, which I wasn't sure if they were going to use the spot on Moon or not, but he's there and hopefully can come back later this year. Inside linebacker, Chalk, Patrick Queen, Landon Roberts, Peyton Wilson, Tyler Medikevich, and Mark Robinson. No surprise there. Robinson had a good summer, really played well against Buffalo to cement his spot, so not much debate, discussion there. At corner, interesting decisions here. Joey Porter Jr., Dante Jackson, Corey Trice Jr., Darius Rush, and Beanie Bishop Jr. Rush was, I don't want to say was surprised by that. To me, he was my number 55 player on the roster, and there is a depth aspect, and there is some injuries to Trice with a groin. Porter's had a minor thing. He didn't play against Detroit in the finale, so that could be contributing to it. And Rush, he made a couple plays in coverage. He had a good start to training camp. I liked Rush a lot coming out of South Carolina. He's also a potential gunner option. He got work there, didn't look great there, but he has gotten opportunities, so you have to assume he's going to be in the mix right now. But I still think they're going to look for some outside help in the secondary because it still looks pretty thin behind the starters. Bishop in the slot, Thomas Graham Jr. getting cut. Bishop can be that rundown guy. Graham had a good camp, but maybe lack of special teams value hurting him. We'll see who comes back. Elevations, again, things are very fluid right now. And Trice could be a potential top backup and dime player. And at safety, keeping 5 and Minkah Fitzpatrick, Deshaun Elliott, DeMonte Casey, Miles Killebrew, and Jalen Elliott, making it as that 5th string safety. Ryan Watts going to IR, and he has not been designated to return. He is out for the season, so he missed his entire rookie year. Unfortunate. Not sure if it's that severe or not. Obviously, it was a scary-looking injury. Tomlin called it what they believe to be a stinger. I don't know if further tests showed something worse or whatever the case was, but he cannot come back this year unless there was an injury settlement, and there's a complication to that, but assume right now he is out for the season. Elliott making it. Not many people had him on their 53-man roster projections, and neither did I, but I did talk about that, did wonder, could he make it? He made some tackles on special teams in that finale. He plays left wing on the punt team. They didn't really have somebody to do that right now, so Elliott, a veteran guy. We'll see if he stays and sticks and all those caveats, of course, but Elliott being the surprise. Other 4 are expected. Specialists, no surprise, obviously Chris Boswell, kicker, Cameron Johnston at punter, and Christian Kuntz as the long snapper. So that's the roster. Again, will change here, I'm sure, in multiple ways in terms of additions and, who gets cut when they bring somebody in, all that kind of stuff. The surprises for me, offensively, hardly any. Des Fitzpatrick, the one you were kind of wondering about. That was about it, though, to be honest with you. Defensively, you have a couple more intriguing, unexpected names. Logan Lee. To me, Rush is less unexpected. Certainly more people thought he could make it than Lee and Elliott. But to me, I'm a little surprised. Didn't know if the play was quite strong enough to get there. But I was wrong. I will, totally fall on that sword and say I had that wrong. I had Rush off my final projection, and he made the team. Initially at least, and then Jalen Elliott probably being one of the largest surprises overall, but I can certainly see the special teams angle considering how poor the coverage unit has been throughout the summer. So we'll see where things go from here. Lots of changes. I keep saying that, but I want to harp on that point because you have to understand the initial aspect of this roster. Also, Cam Sutton has not been announced on anything, but he should go to reserve suspended, so the team didn't say so. I don't know if the NFL has to technically do that, but he should be on reserve suspended to begin the year and spend the first 8 weeks of the season. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What surprised you? What you like about the roster? What you don't? Where are they strong? Where are they weak? What should they look to add here on the waiver wire and for agency pool coming up? Let me know your thoughts. And again, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and check out the site, SteelersDepot.com. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and we'll talk to you soon.